Let me get this thing set up. There we go. I'll tell a story about this encounter I had with a bear up in Alaska. We used to go up there in spring and summertime. All the time we take the ferry boat up there. It was awesome. You could camp out on the boat, on the ferry boat. There was like these two decks, and you could pitch your tent. And it was like a 4 or 5 day ride at that time. It went through the Inside Passage, and it went along the same routes as all the cruise ships. So I mean, they're paying like fucking thousands of dollars for this exotic cruise. We're paying 200 riding with cargo on this boat going the same way. It was pretty awesome though. Fucking unreal scenery and stuff like pictures just can't describe, you know? So, as we started to get more up the Inside Passage into Alaska, I mean, fucking bald eagles were like pigeons. They were just everywhere. And I mean, whales and all this amazing, all these like just amazing sea life, and you know, it's just massive up there. And but the night before we left, we stayed at my friend's house in Bellingham, and we watched this movie, The Edge, where these dudes are being hunted by a fucking bear in Alaska. And so right off the bat, we developed this pretty healthy case of fucking paranoia, you know? And so we get up there, we end up making it up there, we run into our friends, this and that, and you know, we start working in canneries and stuff. We were camping the whole time at this place, Gavin Hill. I mean, we're on a pretty small island. There's only like 13 miles of paved road, but it had the biggest brown bear population of anywhere in the world. Per square mile, there was a fucking brown bear. We never seen them though. Like, you know, we worked pretty long hours in canneries and shit like that, and then just like partying and shit. And we all camped out right around each other. I mean, the woods there were so dense, you could walk 10 feet away at night and just get completely lost forever. And we would pass out, fall asleep, and wake up, and there'd be a fucking giant pile of bear shit like 5 feet from where we were sleeping. And it was like, dude, they're here. They're fucking watching us. They're everywhere. And I mean, you see a wild 1,800, 1,500 pound brown bear. They're huge, man. They're the next biggest bear to Kodiaks and polar bears. That shit is terrifying. It's like seeing the fucking boogeyman or a monster in the fucking woods. They're beautiful and gorgeous. I love bears, but you feel real fucking small and defenseless when you see one. So, you know, we'd go hiking around with my friends there and stuff and go deep into the woods. A buddy of mine lived out there like all year round, had like an Ewok village, like 4 miles out into the woods. And, you know, we were always on the alert for bears. You don't want to spook them. There's fucking signs of them everywhere, man. You see their claw marks on the trees. You see fucking bear shit all over the place and just their fucking footprints. And then there's bear warning signs everywhere. And the bear warning signs were pretty hilarious. They would just basically told you couldn't do shit. They're like, don't run, don't climb a tree, make yourself look big. If the bear fucking mauls you, just curl up in a ball and let him just fucking bat you around. Hopefully you live. But in cases of black bears, if it keeps gnawing on you, it's mistaking you for food. Fight vigorously. And that's what the bottom of the very last thing it would say, fight vigorously. So, I was always pretty scared of bears. So were a lot of other people. But my girlfriend at the time was not scared of them at all. She had no fucking fear of them and would just walk out wherever, you know. So one night, when you walk through the woods, it's so fucking dark. The woods are so thick. I mean, the sun just goes to like a sunset and moves over and comes back up in the summertime. but fucking underneath the canopy is so dense and thick, you can't really see in front of your face. And we'd be walking through the woods at night trying to get back to our camp. And we had like this mother camp, they called it. I built this huge fucking camp with seating. It was ridiculous. Hauled all kinds of shit up there. And it was on this hill. And then all scattered down the hill were a bunch of other people camped out, right? Well, one night we came back, we were kind of fucked up. We get into the tent, and the ground is so moist that when you take a step on it, it's like all mossy and stuff. You take a step, it'll shake a foot in diameter all around. I mean, it's like just roots and moss and super dense. It's wet there, it rains there all the time. So we had to put our tent up on a platform. So we built this platform between these trees with like plywood and stuff and put our tent on there because if it was on the ground, it'd get soaking wet. So we get back to our camp, climb inside our tent, and we're laying there almost ready to doze off, and then all of a sudden the tent just starts shaking like doom, doom, doom. Like every footstep, man, it was like fucking Jurassic Park when the fucking water starts moving. It was like, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And my girlfriend that was never afraid of bears or anything like that was all of a sudden terrified. Like, she was like, I don't fucking know, what the fuck is that? And then all of a sudden, we start hearing this grunting. I mean, it didn't sound like no regular grunting, man. It sounded so fucking guttural and deep and just, it was just a massive fucking beast out there, you know? So we're sitting there terrified, like, holy fuck, there's a fucking bear out there. And he must be pretty close with the whole thing shaking. I mean, like I said, they weigh like 1,500 pounds, man, you know, 1,000 pounds. So it keeps, you can feel it getting closer, and then you can hear it sniffing around out there and doing this little guttural thing. I put my arm over my girlfriend, and I'm looking at the opening of my tent, and I grab my knife, and I'm holding this knife, and it's this big Bushman knife. It was ridiculous, man. Like you could put it on a pole, you know? But it had this African dude with the spear on the side of it. And I'm holding it, and I'm looking at this fucking thing going, oh my God, what the fuck am I gonna do with this against a giant fucking brown bear? I'm gonna stab him, piss him off, he's gonna tear us to fucking pieces, you know? So, we're laying there, and then all of a sudden, the fucking bear brushes up against our fucking loft, you know? The whole thing goes up sideways like this, and then boom, we come back down. And that's it right there. I'm like, holy shit. The bear didn't know that we were inside. So I didn't want to startle the bear. I didn't know what to fucking do. I was terrified. You know, I didn't want it to put its head in the tent, see us, get freaked the fuck out, and just tear us to pieces. So I had my fucking knife, and I'm sitting like this, and I say, in a shaky fucking voice, go away, bear. And fucking, it got silent for what seemed like an eternity, man. It was only like a few seconds, man, but it was like, I was like, the next thing that's gonna happen is this bear's just gonna fucking tear into here with his 6-inch claws and just fucking rip us out, you know? It was quiet for a couple seconds, like I said, and then all of a sudden the bear let out this fucking like grunt and took off running. And fucking, you could hear trees breaking and snapping and fucking this thing cruising. And there was all these other people sleeping down in there. And all of a sudden, everybody started screaming, bear, there's a bear. And fucking, I knew the thing had run away. but I was still just kind of fucking paralyzed, like, holy shit, you know. People were yelling up at us. We started yelling down at them, came up, we started to tell what happened. Anyways, the next day I went and bought a 30-06. I did not want to kill a bear. You know, the last thing I'd ever want to fucking do. But I don't want to be in a situation where it's me or him out in the woods, you know, ever again. It was terrifying. Anyways, that's my bear story in Alaska. I'll post another one out tomorrow. All right, thanks guys.